So, quiet luxury has been everywhere from Succession to Sophia Richie's wedding. And I just thought, why not add my own opinion to the cultural zeitgeist, I guess. So, in this video, I'm going to unpack the quiet luxury aesthetic while baking a Pastis Gascon. So, a bougie dessert for a bougie topic.
Quiet luxury slash old money is an aesthetic that has been a popular topic on social media and is almost to the point of obsession. At first, I thought it was just a joke or like a rollout for Succession, but I was sadly mistaken. The concept is that you should not project your wealth through wearing visible labels or wearing gratuitous jewelry. It leans on the false notion that wealth whispers. It's wearing expensive clothing in muted tones and streamlined silhouettes. And for people who can't afford those stealth wealth brands, it's styling your Zara like you're a member of a country club or you summer in the Hamptons. Honestly, why are we doing this? What are we actually saying when we say quiet luxury? And why is it something that we need to be doing?
At what point did we go from eating the ultra rich to wanting to be like them? It just seems like when the world stopped, we fell back into these traditional roles. And now we've fallen so far behind that we're aspiring to these elitist ideals of quiet luxury and pretending to be rich but hiding it. It's so odd because I feel like, at least with millennials, we were about getting equity and ping pong tables and free snacks at work. And Gen Z were a little bit more radical and they were supposed to liberate us. But now we're just dressing like boring rich boomers.
It seems to be a reaction to the flex culture that dominated social media in the before times. Everyone from celebrities to influencers were showing off their riches via labels they wore, cars they drove, and private jets they flew in. It was obnoxious yet aspirational to many of their pre rich followers. Flex culture grew out of hip hop, which is, to be honest, American culture. Nonetheless, we all watch as rappers and athletes in the culture show off their newfound fame through their possessions. We were seeing people who in the past would never be able to attain wealth in this country now acquire it, and they weren't afraid to show it. With that being said, old money and quiet luxury being a response to the flexing feels a little bit like respectability politics with all of the racial implications to boot. It's discussed as the right way to be rich, which feels like the white way is the right way. When we take a deeper look at old money beyond the aesthetic, it's one of the effects of white supremacy. Old money is inherited wealth that goes back more than 3 generations. In the Western world, the people who were allowed to acquire and pass on generational wealth were white. Most of that wealth was acquired through exploitation of people of color and or poor people. The very concept is rooted in whiteness and perpetuates the idea of assimilation as a way to legitimacy, or basically a way to humanity.
And can we just be honest? What about the OG flexers, like the royal families and these sort of, American royalty, these trust fund, old money type of people? They are the real flexers. They summer and winter in certain places. They own certain cars. They have different estates. It's where they go to school. What kind of art do they own? These are wealth signifiers. And it's just like flexing, it's just that it's not as loud because we're poor and our poor ears don't even register that sort of frequency of loud. So, with that being said, are we anti wealth? No. Are we really trying to hide our wealth? No. We're saying there's only one way to be wealthy. Are we saying quiet luxury, or are we saying new money is bad and we need to uphold these sort of old white moneyed establishments? Because that's more desirable.
And let's not forget that old money isn't really talking about people who come from generational wealth throughout the world. It's very specific on the kind of generational wealth. It's talking about white wealth. White people dress this way when they have money because when you look at other cultures, they're very vibrant with their money. They're very vibrant in how they dress, and it's almost maximalist and not the Western old money minimalism. After all of that, what is the takeaway? I would just say I'm not blaming white people or just anyone on social media for the popularity of this aesthetic. I think it's all being pushed to us, and I don't understand why. But I think we need to question these things. When things become trends, we need to question why. Why is the algorithm favoring something? And I think we've all been conditioned by white supremacy to look at certain things as aspirational and other types of people as undesirable. And we need to really question and break down those ideals. You can wear what you want to wear. You can like aspire to be whatever you want. And honestly, like I naturally dress that way, but I never thought of it as like quiet luxury. And I think a lot of people dress that way. But when we start naming things and we start posting pictures of people uh, playing croquet or something and like staying in front of these like estates, it's just kind of check yourself and really question what we're doing here. Because are those people we should be aspiring to be? Are we still propping up like capitalism? But there's a lot to be said about self-awareness and refrain from judging other people because they don't present or live the way that you want.
I just feel like quiet luxury is sort of like this Pastis Gascon, where it seems a little bit fancy, a little bit more refined, but in actuality is just an apple pie in different clothing. So quiet luxury isn't better than flex culture. Maybe one just seems gratuitous, but they both show their sort of wealth signifiers to the people who are listening. Um, Honestly, take this all with a grain of salt. If you want to dress like that, dress like that. My problem is just that when we say there's one way to be rich and there's one right way to be rich or show wealth, either way, egregious amounts of wealth is destructive, like at the end of the day. But wear your Zara, wear your uh, Bruno Cucinellis, do whatever you want. Just be more mindful of how we talk about these trends and these aesthetics and question why they're being pushed versus another trend. At the end of the day, you don't have to take it from me. I'm just a girl standing in front of a camera asking you to like, subscribe, and comment. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video.